Oh, hi, I'm Nicole. You're watching Soundly Awake. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here, thanks for coming back. So, welcome to the second quarter of 2021. I said I would plan or try to plan in quarters for this year. And somehow we're already here, okay? So in my first plan video of 2021, I laid out a bunch of languages. I was like, okay, I'm already learning Spanish. The next language on my list is going to be Chinese, and I'm going to start that now, the second quarter-ish. So I changed my mind. But today, in this video, I'm going to give you the reasons why. Okay, so we all know that when we make goals or plans, especially for like the long term, if we're talking about a long period of time, they're subject to change, and most likely they will change. I initially had chosen Chinese as the second language I wanted to focus on this year because I took it in college. I still remember some basic words and phrases, and I'm like, okay, I have some little baby foundation, and I might as well just like jump back on that boat, And then the language fairies, they start, just talking to you in the back of your mind. The Filipino one got me. So I started studying Tagalog. Here we go. First time opening it. Still super stiff. I'd never know if I should read these. And this book is pretty great. I'm not that far in it. I'm literally page 16. I just started studying. There are a few reasons why I changed my mind. The first being, I literally live with and am dating a Tagalog speaker. Why this wasn't already second on my list, I couldn't tell you. With time comes clarity. So literally, my boyfriend speaks Tagalog. It's not his first language. His first language is Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, which I do plan on learning too. But because the internet and like books, there's just so much Tagalog / Filipino resources. Oh my God. This has been happening. Sometimes I think of the Spanish word first. Let me know if that ever happens to you guys, because it weirds me out. Two is that I've been to the Philippines and I love the Philippines. And whenever the next time that I am in the Philippines is, I would like to be able to understand and speak as much as I possibly can before that time comes. I feel like one criticism that I've heard against learning second, third, whatever languages in general is that English is the lingua franca of the world. And so if you know English, you don't need to know any other language. And I'm like, who's talking about need? I want to. And there's just so much that happens in languages other than English that we are completely closed off to if that's the only language that we speak. And I just want to open all the doors. It's like when you were in the toy store when you were younger. You're in the aisle with all the toys that like you press a button and they start saying stuff. I just want to push all the buttons. Also, I've had this little phrase book for years. When did this come out? In 1998. But I probably bought it in like 2002 or I don't know, something like that. And how I used to think you learn languages was just wrong. It was just wrong. I am so grateful to the internet and the language community on YouTube for showing me better ways to learn languages. Like, I've wanted to learn Tagalog for a long time. I guess I just kind of like realized that I would use Tagalog a lot more than I would use Chinese, which is not to say that I'm never going to learn Chinese. I will, because I still love Chinese. I just think that for right now, Tagalog is my choice. And just in case you're wondering, like, hey, are you going to give up learning Spanish? No. No. I'm definitely still studying Spanish. I practice, really every day in some kind of way. Whether I'm watching an episode of a show in Spanish, or I'm watching a movie that is originally in English that I know well, like Mary Poppins, watch that in Spanish. Or I'm on the Hello Talk app and I'm like, chatting up the people on Hello Talk in Spanish. I'm still trying to talk to myself in Spanish for when I'm like doing things around the house. I'm still trying to teach Ward in Spanish. A ver, ¿entiendes español? Ven. Siéntate. Buen trabajo. So when I take him out and stuff, I say like siéntate, and he knows siéntate. He knows ven, come. I'm trying to teach him dame la pata, but I don't know if he knows dame la pata yet, or if he just knows the motion of like me putting my hand out to give me his paw, you know. But all that to say, I'm still absolutely studying Spanish. If your question is what's to go on in the future, I don't know if I get overzealous, okay? But I do know of some YouTubers who learn multiple languages at once. And what seems to be the theme is that they'll pick up another language once they're at a certain level in the first language that they're learning. So because I'm like intermediate-ish in Spanish, I can study beginner Tagalog and not really get confused. And actually, some of my Spanish might help me because there are so many Spanish loan words in Tagalog and English too. So it just makes sense. I feel very comfortable with my choice. I'm proud of myself for starting when I said I wanted to start. April 1st came and I was like, okay, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I ordered this book on Amazon. If you wanna check it out, I'll put link to this and I don't know, other language books that I've gotten in the description box below if you're interested. And yeah, as of right now, I don't know a lot. I like from being to the Philippines and having like some experience like listening to Tagalog, I know a bunch of phrases by hearing them. I don't know if I would be able to like come up with them myself. Obviously, I just started actually studying it, so it's gonna take me a little while before I can like say anything to you of note. It's funny, I have this old video from way back in the day. I'll put a clip here in a second, but I was like studying phrases from this book, and by studying I really mean looking at it once in a while, not really committing to anything. And in one of my videos, I decided to try it out. Sana magkita ulit tayo.
Sana magkita ulit tayo.
And I didn't realize I was saying it wrong because I was learning it from a phrase book and I didn't have the audio of people like saying it the right way. And that leads me to my next thing, which is I am so grateful for podcasts and videos and again, the internet in general, because in this year, 2021, it is so much easier to learn a language than whatever year that was. I don't know. 2008, something like that. It blows my mind. There are so many resources. But a podcast that I just got into that I really like is called Go Filipino. It's set up really well and I really like it. I think I'm on episode 4 right now, but I'm so grateful that it exists. Plus, I can just listen to it while I'm doing things like laundry.
Magkano?
Magkano?
Po. Ito.
Ito.
Magkano?
Magkano?
Po. Ito.
Ito.
Magkano po ito?
Magkano po ito? So it will be interesting to see how well I do in Tagalog for a couple reasons. One being, I hope I don't mix it up with the little bit of Ilonggo that I know, which is very probable because already I'm like, okay, I think saan is where in Tagalog, but diin is where in Ilonggo. And there are just some phrases that I know because Ilonggo is Ken's first language. And so when he speaks Ilonggo, I pick up some of those things.
Namit.
Mm-hmm.
Namit.
Namit.
Nami ako may bagay, probe nami nga relo, nami nga tinidor.
Or when I'm like with his family and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna separate these in my brain, but we're gonna see. We're gonna try it out. Another interesting thing will be just kind of gauging how much I've learned, because with Spanish, I had already taken 4 years of Spanish in high school. And even though that was centuries ago, I still had like that base of knowledge of Spanish in my long-term memory. So I probably am learning Spanish a lot faster than I would have had I not taken it in high school for so long. With Tagalog, it's almost like a blank page. It's just, the page has some little, you know when you're like taking notes, but really you're just doodling? That's what my Tagalog is probably like. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I'm just really, I feel like that newness, like the excitement of newness again, because to be frank, I did get to a point in Spanish where I feel a little bit like I'm at a plateau. And I don't know if that's normal or if that's, I don't know, because I have my workbook in Spanish and I haven't studied out of it for like 2 months. And I think it's because the last chapter I did, I pretty much knew all of the stuff and it felt like I wasn't learning something new. So the new, like the novel excitement sort of wore off a tiny bit. I'm sure she'll come back. At this point in Spanish, I just like watching videos in Spanish and trying to learn that way, or movies, or like I said, Spanish versions of movies I already know. But I also don't feel like my speaking has improved that much because I haven't been focusing on it. My understanding is I can tell it's going up, and it's such like a weird but good feeling when I recognize that I know what's going on, but I'm not translating in my head. It's like a magic power. It literally feels like I have a superpower. That's not fine-tuned yet, granted. But I'm very excited to continue learning Spanish and continue my journey, the beginning of my journey in learning Tagalog. Excited to watch some Filipino movies and TV and understand what's going on without reading the captions. I've watched a lot of Filipino movies and TV before, but it will be a different experience when I understand it without the English translations. So we'll see. I might do an update video in 3 months. I might not. I might do one in 6 months. Who knows? I will update you eventually when I feel I'm at some kind of, like I've reached a new level that I can share details with you. And until then, I guess follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I will probably, as I learn more Tagalog, randomly tweet in Tagalog to practice. Oh, also, before you go, I will be live streaming on an app called BIGO. That's BIGO. I'll put the link in the description box. I will be live streaming a lot. So please download the app in the description box. I'll probably tweet when I'm going live. I'll put it on my Instagram story. Literally, we can talk about whatever you want. Languages, we can talk about food. I love doing that. We can talk about travel because I'm getting really excited that that's going to be possible again soon. But I'm super excited. I did one live stream already, which was a couple days ago, and it was great. Thank you to everyone who already came to that one. And I will see you guys on BIGO live fairly soon, probably within the next couple of days. And then I will see you here again with a new video next week. And thank you so much to all of my patrons for supporting me and the videos here and my vlogs on my Still Soundly Awake channel if you're into that sort of thing. Thank you, gracias, salamat, and I'll see you soon. Bye.